Hey everybody, it's Nick. This episode was not recorded in an ideal audio setting, so it's a little rough. If you like movies and talking about cinema, this is the episode for you. Enjoy. Okay, sorry. I'm all hot and bothered and warm now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And I think I forgot to put on deodorant. Maybe that's where the cheese smell is coming. No, okay.
Because you walked into the room and the cheese smell was already there.
It could be coming from me, though. I don't know.
Do you have, like, phantom smell that just, like, leaves your body and just goes into
I don't think... Did you know that, Asians actually don't really... Well, I shouldn't say all, but a lot of Asians don't have body odor. Did you know that?
I've dated 2 Asians.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Okay. Did they stink?
If they didn't shower.
Well, yeah, of course you're gonna stink if you don't shower, but yeah.
My last boyfriend in particular, like, if he didn't, like, put on deodorant, then... Like,
he stunk?
He did stink.
No, stinky Asians. Yeah. That's never good. No. Hi. How we doing?
Good.
It's been a while for anyone that listens to this. I know we don't really strive to be any popular thing. I'm not sure if you know the reason why me and my friend Ben Umberger started this. Do you know the reason why?
No, I just noticed that you started doing it.
Okay. So the reason behind it was. He lived in Lincoln for a while, because he was going to college and whatnot.
Yeah.
Then he moved to Colorado with his girlfriend.
Right.
Lincoln's not terribly far away from here, so we hang out like every 3 months. But since he's living in Colorado, then yeah, I'm not gonna go visit him every freaking 3 months. So we made this podcast to essentially just keep in touch with each other.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
that's the entire premise of this
cool.
show. We'll call it is just a. Hey, what's going on? Because it's because like you could call your friends and that works too, but like in all honesty, how much like when do you actually call your friends to just say, hey, what's up? I mean, it's a nice thought, but like
it's not.
You don't normally just do it.
It's not really realistic.
Yeah, so
sort of thing.
We thought we could do a podcast to kind of make it regular,
right?
To get like a scheduled
to like
check-in.
Set up like a convention in which you two would be talking to each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, do you know the name of our little podcast?
Flick Your Bick.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Of course I know the name of the podcast.
I'm so happy someone
wanted to be on. I requested to be on this show.
You're actually on the toilet podcast. We talk about everything toilets. I tricked you, actually.
Oh.
Of course. But yes, welcome to the Flick Your Bick podcast. Ben is not here, obviously. We've been on like a huge, like... Gosh, it's been like 7-month hiatus because we've been super busy and I'm involved with a lot of creative works, and unfortunately this is on the bottom of my list, which really sucks. There's just not enough time in the day to do everything that you want to do. So for anyone that's still listening, thank you for coming back.
I'm raising my hand right
there. You go. Yeah,
I'm listening.
Yeah, you could see. Everyone could see.
I will be the first person to listen to this when it's up. So
take that. So yeah. So this is Flick Your Bick. We always start with what have you been flicking your bick to? Now this can involve. Usually we do music. What you've been listening to music, because Flick Your Bick. We got the name because. In the olden days, you flick your bick at that concert. There was music related, and there was a way for us to listen to, like, force ourselves to listen to different music and then, like, introduce stuff and do stuff like that. So it doesn't have to be music. It could be, like, a video game or, like, a movie that you watched, perhaps. I don't know. Or that we might be talking about that later. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
Possibilities are limitless.
This podcast is wacky. We can talk about anything.
It's impromptu.
Yeah.
Definitely nothing planned.
So I guess I'll start. Well, I've been flicking my bick to. Okay, I'll let you choose what you want to hear from me. What I've been flicking my bick to, which sounds very sexual. It sounds like flicking the bean. We've already made several comments about that.
I got that from the get-go, but thank you for elaborating on that.
I always have to bring that up.
Yeah.
Always. So, what do you want to know that I've been up to? Like, music-wise, or, like, just...
Dude, I don't even know. It's been 4 years since I've seen you. There's a lot to catch up on.
Has it really been 4 years?
It's been 4 years since I last visited.
I feel like there was another time where we met, and it was in Glenwood, where you jump hugged me and were like hanging off me like a koala bear on a tree. It was I don't was that 4 years ago? Really? Do you remember
Pretty
that?
sure
at all?
it's been 4 years since I've been here.
I think that was in Maddie Woodrum's basement. Or I know we were at like some.
Well,
kind of,
that must have been like one of the earlier times after I had just left, because when I left, it was probably like I visited the following spring. So
okay, that might have been
September.
Then. Yeah, I think you're
September
right.
2014 is when I moved away, and then I came back in the spring of.
I think you're right. Okay,
2015.
that does make a lot of sense.
And then I visited again later that year, and that was like the last time that I visited.
That was at the church on the hill behind the high school, right?
Yeah.
It was like a wedding or something. I don't remember. It was Liz Casey's wedding.
Liz and Zach got married.
Yeah. That's okay. That was probably the last time, and that was 4 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
God damn. Okay. Let's see.
So, like I said, a lot to catch up on.
Yeah. Very true. Very
So
true.
there's, I guess, like, just what have you been doing?
What have I been doing? I've been involved in a lot of creative stuff.
Naturally.
I hate yeah. I hate saying this because it's such a cliche and it sounds actually really douchey, but I'm kind of living that struggling artist life a little bit.
Pretentious ass.
I know, it sounds like I'm a fucking asshole. It sounds like I have my head so far up my ass and I'm talking out my throat. How does that work? I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I'm doing so much stuff. Technically I'm running like 3 YouTube channels. I'm trying to do Twitch streaming a little bit, which I know it's like, this guy's an asshole for calling this shit art or whatever. I'm not. I didn't say it was. I'm calling it art.
There were quotations around the art.
Quotations. Yeah. Clearly, you could see them. Yeah, I technically run 3 YouTube channels. Do Twitch streaming. I have been trying to do voiceover career too, which let's see, about half a month ago, I got 2 paid gigs for voiceover. They're not anything like spectacular. They're just like cruddy YouTube dubs of like an anime,
right?
But like some websites I frequent that they do sometimes post non-professional and professional voiceover work, and I've been on those forums a lot. But a month and a half ago, I got back-to-back 2 voiceover roles that they're paying me money. So that's awesome. I'm trying to do that as like my main career.
Yeah. It's still a foot in the door, you know?
Oh, absolutely. I actually have, I'm not sure, do you remember Mrs. Fajardo? She was a first grade teacher, I think.
No.
Anyways, she, one of her daughters, she actually works for a studio in Texas called Sound Cadence, which they do specialize in dubbing anime and stuff like that.
Right.
And some video games. She actually works as a voiceover artist at Funimation too, which that's a little bit more household name.
Right.
So I don't want to say we grew up, but her sister taught me piano, and her sister also babysat me, so we were around each other, and she likes video games and stuff like that, and we did like a bunch of theater together, so I've been talking to her about like stuff about voiceover. It's great, and it's kind of another foot in the door knowing someone that's actually part of the industry. But, you know, I don't want to be like that asshole. It's like, can you get me a spot on this cool show? I'm not going to do that. Yeah. I want to like, I want to earn my keep and work up to it because that will be just way more gratifying.
Like based on your own merits.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I get it.
So that's kind of what I've been doing like the past 2 years. Yeah, I've just been living that starving artist because been doing like kind of a couple odd jobs here and there, but you know, it's like I just really want to get paid for one of the creative things I do, just one of them.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah,
I'm in the same boat myself.
So I've gabbed on long enough. So that's, I guess, why I've been flicking my big for like the past 2 years. You feel free to say like one thing, like music, or just like what you've been up to. I know we haven't caught up in like a while, but the floor is yours. Take it away.
Well, I mean, I've always, like, as far as like music goes, I don't really like keep track of like any particular artists. I mean, like I do have like some some groups that I do listen to sometimes, but like D Antwoord, really love D Antwoord.
Okay, I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, Justice. Always love listening to Justice.
Okay.
And then aside from them, like it's just oldies and
yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, I'm not really into like
I'm the type of like music listener. It's like, hey, you have a cool song.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't listen to anything else, but this song I like, and then it's pretty much that's how it is.
Right. The board. No, I'm totally the same.
You look at my Spotify list; it's a mess. It's a fucking mess.
That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Okay.
But if we're like talking movies though, like I got my dick in the movies. Okay? It's always like stirring the pot,
just fapping around. Yeah. I've been using that a lot lately.
Just fapping around.
Just fapping around.
I like that. I'm gonna have to adopt that for
myself. Please do. Please let that spread from coast to coast. Since you are a movie connoisseur, we'll call that. I guess what movie I'll ask you, what movie has been like, have you been like, it's just been on your, you just can't stop thinking, you just keep going back to this movie?
Well, that's always The Shining.
Oh, yeah, I know you're a huge Shining fan.
Yeah. All-time favorite movie.
Yeah, and honestly, probably gonna get pissed at me. I've seen bits and pieces of it, like moments of it. Like,
okay, well, this is the part where I leave.
Right. I think I caught like the final chase scene, I guess, where the guy's chasing him through the hotel, and who hasn't seen the blood hallway scene? Everyone's seen that. Scene. Yeah, elevator scene. Yeah, shows how much I know about that movie. I caught the ending of it one time. And I saw that like bits and pieces, and I thought, okay, well, this is a historic movie. It's pretty cool. And then after watching the ending of it, I'm like, okay, it's cool. I will say I don't understand it, but like the end where it shows the guy in the photograph, that freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I don't know the context of it.
No, exactly. It's supposed to be left up to interpretation.
Oh, is it really? Okay, yeah, I should probably just watch the goddamn movie.
Watch the fucking movie. That'd be a good thing to do.
Right. So like, I don't remember when I saw that, but over the years, I read like articles about it, and there's just so much to that movie, like from the production of that to just like the story, just like fan interpretation. There's a lot to that movie, and I see why it's I don't know, would you consider it a cult classic?
Well, a cult classic insinuates that it was
not good in the
first place, and it like gained its popularity through time.
Okay.
Which, I mean, The Shining was like that. But I don't necessarily think it's a cult classic. Myself, it's because it still like got good reviews.
Oh, did it? Okay.
And it was like pretty successful for the time.
What year did it come out? I'm sure you know that.
It was like 1980.
80? Okay. All right, well, that's cool. That's cool.
So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like saying like Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's considered a cult classic.
Yeah, I don't really like that movie that much.
I love that movie. I love it.
I mean, like, I get why people like it. Just I don't know, it just doesn't do anything for me.
Okay.
No. I'm a very, which we'll talk about very soon. Like, I'm a very service level. Like, I'm a very like, I like that movie, or I didn't like that movie. Like, consumer moviegoer on the surface, but like. If I really sat down and thought about it, like about shot composition, because I know all about that shot composition.
Like, I tear a movie up when I see it.
If I really try, I can go into some depth about movies. Probably not the same extent as you, but at least on a intellectual moviegoer level in some degree.
I mean, it's a bittersweet thing because I do like to like rip a movie apart and like get to it like. It's like deeper meanings.
Sure,
like
absolutely.
Look at like the craft of the film.
Oh yeah, that's
the performances and all that. But it's also bittersweet because not a whole lot of people like that.
Yeah, I mean, here's one thing I wanted to ask you. Since you are such a devout movie person, what do you think? Like, because there's a debacle about I'll say, for example, Rotten Tomatoes, because they have like like public, just people rate the movie, and then you have like critics one. I know there's kind of a big kind of thing like, oh well, like the opinions of critics, I should say. What are your thoughts on that kind of ordeal?
Well, first off, like my feelings towards Rotten Tomatoes is like, okay, like you get a general idea of what people think about it and what critics think about it, but people put way too much weight into
agree.
like Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
it's just like user ratings and then what critics are saying.
Right,
that's it. Like people make it out to be like, oh, this is the final judgment on the movie.
Yeah,
and I don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes because the critics are always wrong. I like this movie and they said it was bad.
Absolutely.
All right, but it's just their opinions too.
Okay.
Know?
Yeah, that's fair.
But on the whole, I don't really put much weight into it myself.
Okay.
Sure, I'll like look at it. I'll look at the ratings and be like, oh, well, this movie got really low ratings, but I'll still always 100% watch it myself.
Yes, absolutely.
To get that, to like make that judgment call.
Make your own opinion and stuff like that. Yeah,
like, I already know like my own
method
to like the movie watching experience. So
absolutely,
I don't really look at Rotten Tomatoes all that much.
That's fair. So. Like I honestly, I think I've only opened it up once, and that was just to look up, and that was just because someone asked me like, "Hey, what this get on Rotten Tomatoes?" And that was the only time I opened it up. I know there was like, it was like last year or the year before that. There's like, some kind of I'll call it like a rupture and a ripple in the waves of like Hollywood critics. It was some kind of what's the word, like disturbance, or come on, help me out here. Controversial thing. Yeah, with critics in Hollywood. Am I thinking of? Am I just blowing smoke out of my ass, or was there something like that a couple years ago? I think it was some critics were like picking movies for an award. Or which movies would be put into award, and like it was like unethical or something like that, or I don't know. Or
well, would it, like an actual like award like ceremonies or like competitions? Or?
It was for I always don't remember which one it is. There's like Oscars or Emmys, because which one's for movies? Is it Oscars or Emmys? Oscars. Yeah. It was like deciding a couple movies for which would be in the running up for like in the competition for an Oscar,
right?
And I think it was like I'm probably just getting this completely wrong, but it was like the public just loved it, like just it was just fine, like everyone loved this movie, but the Hollywood critics, like, you know, we're not gonna put that in the Oscars, and there's like a big debacle about that. I from your face, it doesn't look like I'm talking about anything.
It sounds like you're alluding to something else, but like the way that you're framing it, I don't know. Like critics don't decide like what movies are nominated and aren't nominated.
Is it by general public or
no?
How is it? I guess I don't know.
It's anybody who is like a part of the Academy of Martial Arts and Sciences. Which is usually, you know, like people that work within the industry, like the writers, the actors.
So it's like actors can vote on that too?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Oh, yeah, sure. So, on that note, I know there has been people talking about why isn't a Marvel movie up for an Oscar, seeing as, like, publicly they're really well accepted, and, like, even from, like, a production side point, and some of them are like pretty good and stuff like that. That's always a weird like gray area.
Look, I'm fine with a superhero movie being nominated for Best Picture as long as it deserves it. Like, I understand the social, like, we're talking about Black Panther, okay?
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about. We're talking about Black Panther.
Come on.
Like, Black Panther, like, I get those like a landmark in some ways,
right.
The social commentary that it provided, and it really like put, you know, African American actors and cast and you know, the artists and production designers like in the forefront. Like this is something that they could have on their own, while also highlighting a story that wasn't about, you know, slavery,
absolutely,
getting killed by the police or something. So this was like something that they could be proud of, and they could like hone on their own.
I totally get it.
They could like put this on the pedestal and be like, hey, this is something it's commercially successful, it's culturally iconic, but when you watch Black Panther, and I don't know your opinion on Black Panther, but me, when I watched it, it was pretty average.
I I haven't seen it in a while, but thinking back on it, so when you say average, do you mean what exactly do you mean? Like story beats or like shot compositions?
When I say average, I mean like in every department. Whether it be like directing, whether it be cinematography, CGI, performances.
That's fair.
Production design. I felt like nothing was overtly fantastic about it.
Yeah,
it was just okay.
Yeah, no,
it was like acceptable.
It
wasn't like
agree.
offensive any which way. Like I didn't feel like it was like subpar. Like it like did anything bad.
It was just
it was just okay. Like
okay, yeah.
You checked the boxes here.
Yeah, I get it. Honestly, thinking back on it, I would probably have to agree. In fact, there's actually one scene. There's one of the final scenes where T'Challa and whoever is fighting. They're like in the mines or whatever, and it's like heavily CGI. That fight scene, I hate because one, it's all CGI. It's clearly all CGI.
No, yeah, that was one of my pet peeves.
Yeah, which say what you will about CGI,
but I can't really like get mad at like I'm not gonna like. I mean, all superhero movies do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I like have beef with superhero movies in particular.
I totally get the stigmatism and everything about that. I totally get it. But even like CGI, that's whatever. Like you could have good or bad CGI. That's fine.
Really hit and miss for me when it came to CGI.
Yeah. That scene though, you had both these actors or CGI actors fighting in a dark mine with black clothing, and everything was CGI. That fight scene was hard to watch. You couldn't like see what was going on.
I felt very disconnected from it.
Yeah.
Myself.
Are you saying that because
it's not because I'm white? But
I had to ask.
No, it's because I paid the movie ticket to sit there and watch this.
Yeah, that's fair. There's shame on me for forgetting the superhero, but there's an Asian Marvel movie coming out, and I'm a comic book fan, so I should know it, but it's escaping me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty stoked about seeing that. I don't know, like there's definitely a social commentary for Black Panther, and I totally get that. And it's weird because you saw like the Black community, how much they went into droves in supporting that movie. And from perspectives of both you and I, who are not part of that community, like on the outskirts, like looking in the window, just say, "Oh, that's great for that community. Well done," kind of thing. Then I hear like they're making an Asian superhero movie. Now, like I have a huge ass boner for that. I'm so excited to watch that. Like, yay, my people are getting represented. So it's interesting seeing like how much of a impact, I guess, culturally that kind of stuff brings to it.
And I guess that's where the nuance comes in with this kind of conversation, whether or not like Black Panther did deserve all the merit that it got.
Yeah. It's really hard to differentiate, like,
because I mean,
hype.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because like you look at like this cultural impact, and it had a lot of cultural impact,
of course.
But then you look at like the technicalities in the filmmaking.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I'm more concerned with the technicalities in the filmmaking.
Right.
Like, yes, the cultural impact, what it's trying to say, that's great, also a very strong factor. But then you have to look at both sides of the coin here, as well.
Absolutely.
And I feel like if you're short really significantly on one end, then I can't necessarily say that Black Panther did deserve to be nominated for Best Picture. I felt like it was nominated for Best Picture for all the wrong reasons.
That's a very fair.
Not just because like there's like a stigma with like mainstream movies being nominated for Best Picture, but also just for the reasons why the Academy wanted to nominate it. The reasons why the Academy wanted to nominate it so much and give it as many nominations as it did is because they were trying to sort of like revive their ratings, because the viewership for the Oscars has been on a steady it's been on a steady decline for over 20 years now. So they needed to do something to like save their viewership. Yeah. So they're like like I got beef with the Oscars and everything that they're trying to do. And the reasons why they wanted to add a whole category for I forget what it's called. They wanted to add a category for like mainstream or blockbuster films. And I thought that was stupid.
Yeah.
And it's so like transparent what they're trying to do. Like you're not being slick.
Yeah, it's a little.
We all know what you're trying to do, and we all know why you nominated Black Panther. You don't care about the social commentary that it's providing, and you don't care about the cultural impact that it had. You just care about your user, the viewership. You care about your ratings.
So, what do you think about like Hollywood in general nowadays?
Sleazy.
Sleazy.
It's still sleazy.
Hmm.
There's trying. It's they try so hard to like relate to our generation.
Oh yeah,
Because
no
they're
fucking
trying
kidding.
to be PC, but you can just tell how disingenuous it is
Yeah.
by the way that they market
Feels
themselves. on it.
very freaking forced.
Mhm.
No, I totally get that. So whenever I get into a discussion about film or movie, and then like superhero movies come up, I think that's cool and all and everything, but you know, I don't think about you know, great film being superhero movies, which I mean, good or bad, you know, like it might be just because there hasn't been a superhero movie that's, you know, like blown my ass off. I don't know, Into the Spider-Verse, which if you like animation,
I love.
You like that one?
I
Yeah.
loved that movie a lot.
yeah, there's so
Actually,
much nuance. into that.
I'm so happy that won the Academy Award for
Right,
Best Animated
right.
Feature.
Yeah, if you research like what they did for that movie, it's fascinating. Like I know like Miles, like at the beginning, he was shot less frames
Mhm.
than Peter B, and Peter B was shot with more frames to show like how smooth he was.
Mhm.
So there's a frame difference for that. I love animation and framework and
Mhm.
stuff like that. But near the end, like Miles was like going the same framework because he finally got it. Because at the beginning he didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
Right.
But yeah. But anyways, I'm getting off
But I
topic.
mean, like this is like time and time again. This is like a prime example of what happens when you let people who are passionate about a project do what they want.
Yes,
and when
absolutely.
they aren't restricted at all.
Mhm.
Because Into the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse,
Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse,
Into
yep.
the Spider-Verse, fantastic.
I
All
love
around
it.
the board, like the animation, gorgeous.
Yeah.
The jokes and the writing was
Mhm.
spectacular.
Even like that's why I like cartoons and anime specifically, because anime is a little bit more deeper, rich storytelling.
Mhm.
More, I guess you could call it adult. I just love animation because you can just do so much more with shot composition and shot placement because you can put it anywhere.
It's literally like you're not like restricted by what is
Physically, yeah.
here.
Mhm, mhm.
You're literally on a blank canvas and you
Yeah.
can create a universe on your
Yeah,
own.
it's impeccable. Have you seen Akira?
Yes,
Oh god, I love that movie.
one of my favorite anime films
Ooh.
of all time.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Akira, even if you're not an anime fan, you should just watch it.
That's another example of letting artists do what they
Oh
want.
god,
Akira especially changed the way that anime was
Yes, absolutely.
advertised in
Mhm.
the United States.
Mhm, mhm.
You gotta appreciate that.
Yeah,
Because beforehand, it was like people's idea of animation was, cartoon, like Saturday cartoons that
Yep,
children
yep,
watch.
yep.
It was mainly for kids.
Mhm.
But then you see this animated, like animated frames of people getting the absolute shit beat
there's
out
like
of them.
some body horror in that
Yeah,
too.
you got like blood, you got like teeth falling off, you got like
Mhm.
people getting their ass beat.
There's anime titties in there too.
Yes, yes. And they got that shit jiggling around and everything.
Yes,
they got the physics right.
Yeah.
They got the physics right.
If we can count on one thing, the Japanese will do is they're gonna
They
get
will get that balance.
their titty physics down.
They will see to it.
Yeah, so
And I appreciate it.
in one way or another, yeah. So getting off the topic of like superhero movies and anime and animation, there's just with superhero movies, it's kind of like the like big old like big swinging dick like this is entertainment kind of thing. But let's shift a little bit to like more indie stuff. I'll try not to gab too much about the cultural impact is, but I want to talk to you a little bit about The Farewell because we both saw that.
Mhm.
What did you initially think of it? I'm very curious.
I loved it.
Really?
I absolutely loved it.
I'm so glad you did.
I cried twice.
Did you really?
Uh-huh.
Aw.
Because you could just tell a genuine story from one that's like coming from someone that has like no personal experience and it's
Mhm.
just from speculation.
Mhm.
You could tell that Lulu Wang,
Mhm.
the writer director
Right.
of The Farewell, she cared a lot about this film.
Absolutely.
And
Mhm.
it's so evident in the filmmaking, and I felt so like you just feel the heart. You feel the warmth in it, and you feel the heartbreak. You absolutely feel it, and that's something that I just really, really appreciated about it. You don't get too many films like that.
No. At least not mainstream movies.
No, and I'm actually like really surprised that this was like marketed. But I mean, it's A24. A24 has a really good marketing department.
Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yeah.
So like, they're gonna like give their movies their proper due. I wish I could say the same for Under the Silver Lake, but that's a completely different.
I don't know much about, or I haven't heard about
that's a whole story that I really don't. Sure. We're talking about The Farewell.
yeah, fair enough. But yeah, I'm such an advocate for people that I don't want to say posers, but people that are like, oh, I love film, and then like they don't talk about shot composition or like lighting or audio stuff like that. Kind of the first thing I do I tell people, like, if you really want to get into film, go watch like a foreign film. It's
we're getting into foreign films now, right?
God, yeah, we are. Right. Oh boy,
yeah. We're getting deep.
Yes.
We're getting deep.
Okay. Yeah, like, you know, Hollywood is Hollywood. You know, big lights and stars and everything. It's very Americanized, but it's so interesting to see what other cultures and just like their histories of their storytelling be put on the screen, and it's so different from American movies, and I love that. It's so fascinating.
I absolutely love foreign cinema. But Asian cinema in particular.
Oh my god, yeah, it's
Japanese
crazy.
Cinema, Chinese cinema,
Korean cinema,
Korean cinema.
Nutty.
It's nutty, but it's great. Yeah. It's so great. I love it. Even like Filipino cinema.
I haven't seen any Filipino movies.
There's this great documentary. Oh, well, it's not Filipino. It's Malaysian, I think.
All right, fair.
It's called The Act of Killing.
Okay.
It's a really great documentary. It's almost like a real life horror movie.
What's it about?
It's about the military governments in Malaysia around like the 70s and how that impacted the generation of that time now. And the movie centers around basically following around this guy who did a lot of really bad things around that time, because you know it was anything went, and if you were considered a communist, they would kill you
right
on site and not feel anything about it. And so basically they they followed this guy who feels pretty unashamed about what he did, and they ask him to make a play out of the things that he did, and he decided to make it into a comedy.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah.
Holy fuck! That sounds. You already got me super interested.
It's a pretty fucked movie. Let me just say. But like the reason why I say it's a horror movie in real life is just because you really think to yourself, like, how can somebody just like be this cold and indifferent and inhumane? It's just a complete psychopath. But then like the people that he associates with are completely fine with it, and there's enough people within this government still.
Yeah,
that support that kind of behavior. It's a great film. I highly recommend it.
Do you like kung fu martial arts movies?
Yes.
At all?
Yes.
Okay. I have always been a Jackie Chan fan, and not just his American movies. His American movies are okay for the most part.
I haven't seen any of his foreign films.
Oh, you haven't seen any of his like Hong Kong ones? Oh my god! Oh, like you can go on about like movies. I can go on just about Jackie Chan alone. Like, he's my childhood hero, man.
Well, I can sit here and like listen to you like just
absolutely.
About that.
I would he has such an interesting way of him cutting his videos. It's so fascinating. There's like a great YouTube video. I'll have to show it to you later, and I'll probably put a link in the description of the video, just because I love the video. I watch it so many times. The way he cuts like action shots. So to give a little bit of perspective, like for like American editing, at least most of them, if like someone's going in for like a punch on like one frame, the next frame they'll show like the hand and the fist like in the same spot, and then like them like getting hit. And I'm just summarizing this as quickly as possible. Jackie, in some of his older films, he does an interesting thing where he cuts his impact shots where it'd be like the same situation. Like he'd throw a punch and you see it coming, and then the next shot it would be a little bit farther back and continue. So if you watch it like slow down consistently, it doesn't look right. Doesn't make sense. But because he puts his his hits a couple frames back, it looks, and it goes by like really quick, since we're talking about frames here. It looks like there's one punch or like one fluid kick, but since it's a little bit farther back in frames, he calls it seeing it twice. So obviously it's put back a frame, so obviously it's not in the same spot, but our brains will think like it's one continuous shot. And he does that because you can he likes a lot of wide shots where you can see all the action, and he calls it showing the audience twice, because again, like I said, it shows you really get to see the impact of it, and it makes the like fight scenes and fight choreography like more fantastical, because we can really get in there and stuff like it. It's really fascinating. Just how his acting too, because like watch any like AAA American action movie, just like badass that just like is rolling just through fires, like cool guys don't look at explosion. Jackie Chan gets beat the fuck up. Like he's like
no stunt devil.
He
does his own stunts.
All his own stunts. Like he's either like he's always fighting at a disadvantage, whether he's like handcuffed to someone or he has like a bomb strapped in his mouth. He's just always fighting from a lower position. That's one of the many.
You gotta love the guy.
Yeah. So here, like to segue into this, he is like hell of a man, like hell of he's just a great actor in general to sell it, and even just a great athlete and stuff like that. He does have some interesting political views. I'm not sure how much you know about Jackie Chan.
I don't know.
That's fair.
I don't really know about his life or like what he's been doing lately.
Sure. Well, he is one thing about him that's very negative in the public eye is he's very for Chinese communism.
Oh.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think this may or may not be the exact quote, but I believe he did say at one point like people don't know what they want, essentially, and that's why he's for Chinese communism. He's Hong Kong born and raised though, so he's not from mainland China. But I don't know, like, you know, I kind of see like that doesn't really pertain to me, and that might be because I am not really around talk of communism in that regard. But I don't know. I kind of wanted to pick your brain a little bit about what do you kind of think about, you know, separating the art from the artist, like that whole debacle and talk?
Okay, well, I mean, it's my personal opinion that you can still appreciate a piece of art despite the person who made it, while also not supporting the things that that person has done in their life. You know, it's kind of like you know, like Hitler used to do watercolor paintings before he became a political figure. And, you know, you look at those paintings and I could still say that his painting, like his work is good.
Yeah.
I can, like, yeah, like you have good technique and you like clearly know how to use color and you clearly know how to use the paintbrush. That being said, you're still a piece of shit.
Yeah. There is he's a writer of a manga or anime called Rurouni Kenshin. Very famous. It's a 90s anime. It's awesome. It's obviously been out for a while, beloved by a lot of people. I think in like 2015 or 16, he was arrested for having child pornography. Yeah, not good. So, and it's weird because these situations always kind of confuse me because, like, in this particular example, like, you know, I bought and paid for stuff of his work, and now he's a potential child diddler. So it's like, do I keep some? Like, and even there's like more shows and even like other content about that where like There might be a crossover of that show with it, and then like, do I
it's
support
really
it?
it's really upon your own discretion.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I mean, like, I guess in a way you would have to rationalize associating yourself with a person like that by consuming their work.
Yeah, yeah, it's such a weird and awkward position to be in. It's a little bit different I think it's like, I don't know. I think it might be like you gave the Hitler example, which a great example. I think it might be slightly different because, you don't remember Hitler for his watercolor paintings,
Exactly.
and like.
And also, like, he made that stuff before he was a political figure.
Exactly. And versus this example where it's like he made this and then it came out, so it's such a gray area.
It is. I feel like it's just purely upon your discretion. You know, like, you know who Roman Polanski is?
Name sounds familiar.
He did Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, okay.
He's done like a bunch of like iconic films.
Okay, sure.
But it came about that he had like like there was like a sexual like assault allegation that came out against him, and instead of dealing with it, he was like going to go to jail for it for sure if he stayed in the country, but he fled. He fled and went to somewhere in Europe.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, it took me a while.
Yeah, and people have a lot of animosity towards him because he decided to flee, and if anything would like just call your like expose you for like
it's running.
Yep, you did this. You definitely did this. It's running away.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But at the same time, I love Rosemary's Baby. I'm sorry, I love that movie, and I will watch it. I will always watch it. But at the same time, me like watching that movie and appreciating that movie and really enjoying it for its craft and everything that it has to offer doesn't make me culpable for like what he did. It doesn't mean that I agree with what he did, and it doesn't mean that I support what he does, because it's not like he's telling or like having like any like subliminal messages in his film saying like, hey, it's okay to like rape a woman.
Yeah.
You don't need to. This is why I like say like this conversation is nuanced, and it's all about your own discretion and like what your threshold is.
Right.
If you're okay with associating yourself with someone like that, and if you have like a certain love for something that someone makes,
right.
I don't feel like it's necessarily fair to like keep yourself from doing that just because they did something that had nothing to do with what you're appreciating.
Okay, I can make a comparison to like the saying the sins of my father are not mine kind of thing. Yeah. I can make a comparison. So I got two really dumb questions for you. I'm only asking because I should know this and I forgot. One, is The Shining a Stephen King novel?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I thought so.
Yes.
Two, who directed The Shining?
Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick. Okay. Yeah, I should have known both of those. Would you still support The Shining, knowing that Stanley Kubrick, like, if some dirt was found out about him, would you still support The Shining?
Well, there is controversy with The Shining.
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah. Okay. Because shows how much I know.
Like with a lot of people think that Stanley Kubrick is an asshole because of like he put the main actress.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember that.
He put her through absolute hell, and he made her miserable. But he did that so she could actually look like she's being miserable.
Yeah.
It would like the misery that she's experiencing in real life would reflect in the film through the character that she's playing.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
That was a choice. It was a choice. Okay, I don't necessarily agree with it, but at the same time, it's not like I'm gonna boycott The Shining because like he chose to go about a certain method of directing because he was pretty methodical and he knew what he wanted to do and he knew exactly how he wanted to do it.
Fair enough.
That being said, I will always love The Shining, no matter what.
Fair.
And even if there was dirt that came up about Stanley Kubrick, like say he, I don't know, molested children or he was a murderer.
Yeah.
I would still love his movies.
Okay, fair enough.
Like another prime example, Woody Allen.
Right.
Woody Allen, he married his kid.
Okay, did not know that.
He married his kid.
Huh.
And a lot of people think he's a creep. Because there's like a lot of allegations about like molesting his kid.
There's probably a creep somewhere in there, somewhere a little bit.
You marry your kid.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say, the dude's a creep. But he's still a pretty damn good filmmaker.
Yeah.
At the same time.
So I'm gonna ask another question. what do you think is more important? Well, actually, that's kind of a dumb question because I think I may know what you're gonna say.
There are no dumb questions here.
Are you gonna do like? Are you gonna say there are no dumb questions? And I'm gonna ask them like, except for that one. I fucking hate when people like, shut the fuck up. Get your head out of your
I wasn't going to, but all right.
What do you think, Carrie? What do you think is more important for a movie, a script or an actor? So, would you rather have like a really good script or mediocre actors, or really good actors or a mediocre script?
Well, I can't really say either, because a film is so much more than its an individual components.
That's fair. That's fair.
You need everything to be on point in order for the entire
of course,
experience to be elevated. And I really don't feel like there's any like one component that's any more important than the other.
I agree. I'm just wondering, like, if given the choice of you making whatever you wanted, but you could only like pick a mediocre. It's a weird example.
Like in a hypothetical situation, if I were to like, make a movie, but I had to like pick and choose like an aspect that was going to be stronger over others.
Sure, we'll go with that. Between a good script, not as good actors, or good actors and not as good script.
I would have to have the script.
I think I would need to have the better script too.
Because I feel like if all else fails, like a story can carry a movie pretty far before people get really fed up with it.
But see, here's the thing, because I also think like I always think
but this is why I say like you need everything
absolutely,
else to
absolutely.
work.
I also have the notion like, God, I sound like I'm gonna sound like pro-communist Jackie Chan here. People are kind of dumb, and like I don't know.
That's not communist to say.
Yeah, I guess not, but
it's true. It's inherently true. People are stupid.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. Like people may say like, "Oh, this actor was like phenomenal," but from a different perspective, maybe not so much from someone else's viewpoint. But that movie might still be super successful. Just the actors may not be
maybe
good.
on the brand's name.
Sure, yeah.
Yes, movie's gonna have a selling point if they have a big star.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I mean, we've. I probably don't need to explain Ghost in the Shell. I'm not sure.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't either. Well,
I just knew all the shit that went down when it came out.
Yeah.
Or that it was announced that Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah,
But that's stupid. The controversy surrounding Ghost in the Shell is stupid.
Yeah, I will fully admit, and on record because this is recorded, when I first heard that ScarJo was playing as Captain Kusanagi, I think that's her name. I was a little bit peeved about it because I thought like, oh, it should be a Japanese person from Japanese descent. Then I watched a video about a person on YouTube doing like no, I don't know what you call it, but like public surveys, like on the street asking questions kind of thing.
Yeah, like public interviews.
Yeah, public interviews. Yeah. And he was like, asked like, what do you think about Scarlett Johansson being this Captain Kusanagi role from this anime, which is Japanese, of course. A lot of the Americans said, oh, that's fucked up, and a lot of the Japanese people said like, I'm okay with that because
exactly, but this is like where it comes with like cancel culture.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like you have a bunch of people that I really don't feel like actually care about the issue that they're ranting about. They just want to be offended on someone else's behalf.
And I wonder sometimes like, do like filmmakers do that on purpose to generate more news for it? I think maybe sometimes that happens.
I would think that they chose Scarlett Johansson because she's a big name.
Yeah,
and I feel like if they had Scarlett Johansson attached to the movie, that they would have a wider selling point, and a bigger demographic and a bigger marketing campaign.
Which is dumb because Ghost in the Shell is so popular. It's such a big anime, like for the nerd community. I guess
say like the demographic, like casting her was like obviously a risky decision for the movie anyway.
I didn't think about it that way
because you would have to understand your market at the same time.
Yeah,
and you understand that like the same people that watch anime are going to be very nitpicky and very critical of the decisions that you make anyway. So I would say like in either direction, casting Scarlett Johansson, incredibly risky decision. Incredibly risky.
I didn't think it from that perspective. That's an interesting perspective.
I would also argue that they would try to use that controversy to
generate news. Yeah, absolutely. There was one movie, I forget what the name of it was. It was about a like an Air Force woman that was from Hawaii, obviously from like Hawaiian descent and Japanese descent, played by Emma Stone. Like,
yeah,
I don't remember what movie it was.
I can't excuse that at all.
Like that's like unacceptable.
It is unacceptable.
That was dumb.
It really is. Like, Emma Stone, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
We don't know.
I saw a YouTube video of like someone giving a speech. I think it was Sarah Oh, the Asian woman from Grey's Anatomy. You know that one?
Sandra Oh?
Sandra Oh, yeah. She was like got accepted a speech and she said like something about like Asian representation, and then
And
she
she,
made
like-
a jab like, "I'm looking at you, Emma Stone." I think Emma Stone said from the crowd, "I'm sorry."
I'm sorry.
that made me feel a little bit better.
Yeah. At least she knows what she did.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there is like certain obligations when, you know, accepting a role. There is a responsibility to.
there's a lot of weight to that.
There is a lot of weight to it, you know, because this is like how you're representing, like, not only like the character that you're doing, but also yourself.
Right,
So
absolutely.
like, don't expose yourself as an asshole here.
Right. All right, I got two questions. Both of them are kind of deep dives. One's actually, I guess, kind of quick. Kind of on the subject of anime a little bit, but more just in general for just like film.
Yeah.
Subs or dubs? Which do you prefer?
I like subs.
Subs.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I also like dubs if it's good.
All right, that's fair. That's
like
fair.
a lot of people like to shit on the dubs a lot, but I mean, like, they're not all that bad.
No.
Granted, there are a lot of bad ones.
Absolutely.
Lots of bad ones.
Absolutely.
But there are still good ones too.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
if we're like talking like Naruto, like
I
I feel like the English dub for Naruto is pretty good. So
Fair enough.
I'll watch the English dub.
I've never seen any of Naruto, but I would even extend that to like foreign films and stuff like that.
Oh no, absolutely no dubs
Okay, that's
for
fair.
foreign films.
I mean, there are some pretty shady ones out there, but
It's different with anime because it's animation and it's already, you know.
sure.
But
'Cause-
the audio, like, your association with what they're saying is like,
Right. Because I've run into people who are like, "Oh, I can't watch foreign films." Well, why not? Because I don't like reading subtitles. Which I think that's an asinine reason to not watch good
that
film.
pisses me off.
Yeah, I know. Like, come on.
It's like, I don't want to read a film. Shut the fuck up. Literally, shut the fuck up. I don't want
Yeah.
to hear any of that bullshit.
That does
okay?
piss me off.
It's so fucking stupid. It's such a poor argument too. Like,
It
you're just
really
lazy.
is.
You're just lazy. That's it. You're telling me that you're just a lazy asshole. That's it.
Yeah. Goddamn. Yeah.
But even then, like, me reading subtitles has like virtually no effect on my experience for the film.
I mean, can you not look at like two things at the same time?
I do, but I do though.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that hard.
And I watch so many foreign films that it's like second nature to me now.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I should recommend you some Jackie Chan movies.
I would love some.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I know I know his work, but I just have never gotten into it.
Sure,
so
sure.
You recommending it to me, it gives me an excuse.
absolutely.
To actually get into it.
Well, his early claim to fame is I think 1973's Drunken Master. That one, it's pretty good. It's a little rough around the edges since 1973. It's from Hong Kong. It's kind of. I can't remember that movie. Like, I think that one specifically is kind of hard to find original audio for that, at least like even on the internet and stuff like that. So that one may be a little bit difficult to find. Kind of a sequel to that, the 1994 in America, it's called Legend of the Drunken Master, but it's Drunken Master 2. That one's a very good one.
I'll let you recommend them to me. Like, recommend some that are like accessible.
Sure, absolutely. Meals on Wheels. I always get it. Meals on Wheels. No, it's Wheel. No, it's Meals. It's either Meals on Wheels or Wheels on Meals. It's silly, but that's a good one. Both Police Story 1 and 2 are very good, and like
You're gonna have to send me a list.
Yeah, I will.
Just like send me a list.
I will. But you know, I know you're big into film and stuff like that. How much like kind of action movies kind of do you watch in general? Well,
Not really too many.
yeah, I
be
kind of
honest.
got that impression, which is
But
fine.
it's not because like, I think they're like overtly bad or anything. I just feel like most of the time it's just formulaic
Sure,
and
sure.
kind of lazy.
No, I totally get that, especially in American films. After you watch some after you watch some Jackie Chan, like amazing choreographed stunts.
But I mean, like, you can still do action really great.
True.
And even in a campy way, like Shaolin Soccer.
Oh, I fucking love Shaolin Soccer. That shit's good. Oh, have you seen Kung Pao Enter the Fist?
No.
Oh my god, you have not.
Not.
Do you know about that?
Yes, I do know about it. It's on my watch list. It's on my watch list. I haven't gotten to it yet.
Me and Ben, we have this thing where like every single person has like either like about 3 to 5 movies or TV shows that make up their basis of what they find funny, and like that, like Kung Pao is like that is my humor. It's like for me, it's Kung Pao, Enter the Fist, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and Futurama. Both me and Ben agree. Like if you like Monty Python, we can probably get along.
I love Monty Python. Though.
Like how could you not?
It's so. The humor is just like so on point.
Yeah,
it's so perfect.
I need to watch more.
The punchlines are always great. The delivery is always great. I fucking love Monty Python.
Yeah,
Holy Grail in specific.
But yeah, like the reason why I asked if you watch a lot of action movies, is just kind of to see like to get a gauge on like your experience with like fight choreography and stunt choreography and stuff like that. Not that I'm saying like you have trash stuff, or I'm just like getting a gauge of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it, Jackie Chan has like his own stunt choreography team. It's it's just fascinating to see him. He grew up, or I should say, his like formulative years, like from like 6 to 18. He's sent to a Peking boarding opera school. So he got his education there. Well, I say education lightly because they didn't really give him like a standard education, but he learned like martial arts and dancing, and like it's essentially like entertainment business for like kids, kind of stuff like that, boarding school. So if you watch a lot of his earlier movies, it's very rhythmic,
right?
And that's because the Peking boarding opera school is like they did like Chinese stage operas, and it's literally like a play. So a lot of his choreography in his movies are based on like the rhythmic patterns of like jumping over things, like hitting with like punches or sword swings.
Yeah,
and if he even just like listens to like hits and impacts and stuff, like there's a rhythm to it, and it's just fascinating to see. Like just go watch foreign movies really and just see how different, and just how you learn so much about films by watching foreign movies.
Like we're talking about action, right?
Oh yeah,
in specific. Yeah. Okay, well I mean like just
in general, just go watch foreign movies.
Exactly. Like, I recommend foreign films to people all the time, and they're like, "Oh, foreign films."
Yeah, come on. What's that old? I know you were talking about a couple years ago. It's like an old. Speaking of which, do you like black and white films?
Love them.
I love black and white films so much.
Even like modern ones and from that era of time. Love them.
Have you seen? That's what happens when we start talking about film.
I saw Sunset Boulevard for the first time.
Did you? I haven't seen that yet.
It is so good.
Damn.
It is so good. The main actress, she is one crazy bitch, and the actress that plays her is so perfect. The way that she delivers it. Highly recommend Sunset Boulevard.
Okay, I gotta put that on my freaking list.
So good.
Damn. I was gonna say
classic noir too.
Oh, goddamn! There's not enough of that anymore. It's a shame. I was gonna say, Logan is another superhero movie. Logan and what's that crazy movie with they're driving in the desert? It's like bunk ass crazy.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Have you seen those two movies in black and white?
Okay, I haven't seen Logan yet.
Okay, that's fair.
But Mad Max Fury Road, absolutely love. I haven't seen it in black and white.
Oh, you gotta watch it. You get so much of a dip.
Is it? Yeah, I never even thought. I had never even thought
beautiful.
about it.
I think.
Is there a version that I can watch somewhere with it? Black and white?
I don't know. I know originally though, the director wanted to put it out in theaters in black and white originally. But then people aren't gonna watch that as much because it's black and white, which is a darn. Watch it in black and white. It's incredible. Wow. You already never.
It didn't even register to look at it in black and white. But now that I'm thinking about it, absolutely.
I think I think Logan and Mad Max the DVDs. I think there is a.
I know they did. I know they did that for Logan.
Yeah.
I didn't know they did that for Mad Max.
Dude, all the crazy already Mad Max is a super colorful movie. Even the scene that sticks out to me most.
One of the reasons why I love it.
Yeah, when it goes to the nighttime, it's just so fucking blue and stuff like that. And the when I watched Mad Max in black and white, when they're like driving into the crazy sandstorm, it's everything black and white. Oh my god! I like my jaw literally dropped to the floor. It was just so incredible.
Poetic cinema.
It really is. Oh goddamn. Yeah. Back to my original.
Mad Max though, like that's
goddamn.
Prime example of like doing action right.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like you
most
can
of
tell
those
that
were real too. I think.
Yeah. The fucking truck with like that huge like guitar player on it, and that was real. Can you fucking imagine that?
It's so fucking metal.
Someone took the time to conceptualize that and build that shit.
It's badass.
It is so bad. Oh my god. I fucking loved it. Everything about that movie I loved.
Yeah.
I walked out of that movie floored because I was not expecting it to be as good as it was. That movie has no fucking business being as good as it was.
So fucking cool.
It was so great. And I am so glad that it got as much attention as it did at the Oscars.
Absolutely deserved it.
It was nominated for Best Picture, like director. It won a bunch of technical categories.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which is fantastic. Absolutely. Edited fantastic.
Yes.
The cinematography itself was fantastic. The sound editing.
I'm an audiophile.
Y'all can't see what the hand motions that I'm making right now, but
it's molto bene.
Yes.
Yeah. Go watch it in black and white. There is a like a really famous, because I remember you talking about it a couple of years on social media. A really famous black and white movie from the 40s. It's like French.
Okay.
Seeing your face, I'm not sure if you'll remember. I remember it has like some golden idol or something like that. It's like a French black and white movie. I don't know. I wanted to ask because I wanted to watch it.
A little bit more because that's
I know. It's very very vague. Damn, don't remember that.
Something that comes to mind is like Breathless. So
that might have been
a Jean-Luc Godard film.
Okay. I do recognize that name. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, I guess I'll.
But I'm just speculating based on the information that you're giving me, which is virtually none.
Sorry.
Virtually none.
So, real quick, what the fuck did you mean by like? Because you did a post on Instagram, like, send me an emote and I'll tell you a movie associated.
Look. Okay, to add some context to this. Okay, let's explain the situation, all right? I was working a 12-hour shift at work. I was bored as fuck, so I made a post on Instagram saying like, "Hey, send me an emoji and I'll assign a film to you that I feel best describes you." So Nick gave me an emoji. And
it was an arcade stick.
Yeah, it was an arcade stick. And I gave him Superbad. And my description for it is like, look, I have no fucking idea why this reminds me of you so fucking much, but I feel like if you were a film, you would be Superbad.
Well, okay, you because I think I asked you why, and you said for one specific character, and you said the one that's most famously remembered. Is that McLovin?
It's McLovin.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's McLovin.
Why though? Like, I'm not
saying you look like him, but I'm saying like as far as like the personality, I feel like you could have played McLovin yourself.
Really?
And I wouldn't have necessarily felt much of a difference.
Damn. I'll take that as a goddamn compliment.
It is a compliment because I love McLovin. Everybody loves McLovin.
Yeah, that's true.
He's great. He's fantastic.
I
love him.
Yeah,
I love you.
I love you too, man. I was just curious. You know,
I didn't mean anything by it.
No, I'm not offended.
Arms about it.
I'm not offended. It was more like a, okay.
No, it's a great thing.
It's
a great thing.
All right. Well, let me check this real quick. Yeah. Gone.
Is it still recording?
Yeah, it is.
Am I sitting like too far away? Do you think I'm like speaking too low?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
All right, so we're at an hour.
Test.
A little late for that there. All right, so I think that'll be it for this first episode. We did not expect to talk about this much about film, but
we really went in on this.
And it's funny because like I feel like I could talk to you about way more stuff about film.
We could go on forever about this.
You should start a fucking podcast and talk about film.
I want to do like YouTube reviews.
Yeah. I don't remember the girl, but I have a friend that watches a YouTube girl, and she moved to Los Angeles to be an actress. Which I don't know. I don't remember if it's PC. I think I read somewhere that it's not PC to say actress. You should just say actor. I don't know.
Well, they've adopted that now.
Oh, so is
the
it just
actresses
actor-
want to be referred to as actors, so it means that they're like equal between men and
Oh,
women.
okay,
within
okay,
the
yeah,
industry.
yeah,
Which
fair
is fine,
enough.
I get
Yeah,
that.
I get that. There was this YouTube girl, moved to Los Angeles to be an actor.
Mhm.
And when she was going for auditions, the people that were casting her like, all right, read this line like this person from this movie. I've never seen that movie. Oh, okay, sorry. Then go watch. Go say like this person. I haven't seen that. Okay, well, and then went on. She, growing up, was not allowed to watch movies.
But she wants to be an actor.
Yeah,
Okay.
she did start from theater. So her YouTube channel is doing movie reviews from the
Uh-huh.
perspective of never seeing like any movies.
Okay.
It's really interesting. I don't remember her name, but yeah, that just made me think of
Well,
that.
if anything, you can like witness somebody like literally build their palette from scratch.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's super
Yeah.
interesting.
So
But
I would feel like that'd be an interesting,
absolutely,
not
yeah.
just like for the reviews themselves, but also like seeing her grow as like a person.
Oh yeah,
as
yeah.
a, as,
Kind
a
of
film, as a film consumer.
see her tastes change and
Yeah.
whatnot. Yeah, yeah, super
Because
interesting.
then she can actually like we can like witness her figuring out what she likes and what she doesn't like.
Mhm,
You know, watch what her likes and dislikes evolve over
Absolutely,
time as she
absolutely.
continues to do it.
I'll probably ask my friend what that channel was to put in the description below. But yeah,
Okay.
I don't know, promoting someone way more famous than us, but whatever, whatever. So we've gone on for a while, and again, like, oh yeah, I was gonna ask you. I keep fucking going on. I know you moved to like West Coast to pursue film stuff. Are you still doing stuff towards
It's
that?
like on the back burner right now, but
Okay.
it's still very much within my plans. to do
Okay,
that.
good.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll ask you something off because I am kind of curious about one thing, but
Yes.
I think we'll end it here for this episode.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes.
I feel like we just scratched the surface. We've already talked for like an hour and 10 minutes.
How long
I think
has it been?
like an hour and 10 minutes.
It hasn't felt like it at all.
I know. Time go like
I felt like I just got here.
yeah, the
To
sun
be
goddamn
honest.
set. That's
Yeah.
how long we've been talking.
Yeah, there's like a window behind us. It's pitch black outside.
So we're gonna wrap up this episode, and we're gonna do another episode where me and Nick both watched a movie that we both have not seen, and we're gonna do a little review and talk about that.
Yeah, we're gonna do an in-depth film discussion.
Sure.
Yes.
I'm very curious to know what you thought about this movie.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, anyways, thank you so much for coming on this episode.
Thank you for
We'll
having
see
me.
you next week, I guess.
Yes.
All right. We're ending it.